Hey, good morning to those of you out there on the West Coast. Good afternoon to those of you here on the East Coast with me. Do me a favor, put in the chat whether you can see me and talk to me, because right now I can't see myself on LinkedIn, and that's how I always I hold up my phone and I check to make sure that I'm live. I got this routine that I do over and over again, and my routine's a little off. So just give me an AV check, especially on LinkedIn. If you're on YouTube, just tell me that. If you don't know this, we stream out to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I just want to make sure everybody who wants to listen to me is able to listen to me, and then I'll be off to the races on today's training. Come on. Looks like it's live. No, so it's not live. Why are you not live? Is there a problem? No, that's good. I rarely talk like this, but we're at the end. And if you can hear me, I'm getting nothing. It's saying the event's going to start soon. It's like, come on, LinkedIn, you're killing me here. Come on, LinkedIn. I'm just going to wait for a second until I see somebody in the chat, or if my own LinkedIn comes on, I might check myself out on YouTube really quick to see if I'm live over there. This is technology. It just, sometimes it works, sometimes not. Come on. And where do I go? My channel. I'm just still watching, see if I see anybody. So I got it scheduled for right now. It's upcoming, but it's not live. Why is it not live? So I don't see myself on YouTube. I don't see myself on LinkedIn. Oh, live on YouTube. Okay, well, that's good. Might just be you and me, right? I don't know why it's not coming out on LinkedIn. It's kind of unfortunate. And I can't stop it and start again because LinkedIn only lets it go once. I'm just going to have to assume. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Tell me who you are, Wolf Stan Jr., by the way. Might as well give me your name or company name. I can talk to one person. I have 140 people registered, and I think most of them are on LinkedIn, not getting in. And so I'm just waiting to see if that'll change. I'm just giving it a couple of minutes because sometimes technology is just this hiccup thing that's out there. Let me actually check one more time on LinkedIn here on the desktop. Just cruising around, waiting for it to start. This is unfortunate. Happy Friday, Jay. Let me come here. My events. I'm assuming I'm still out there with just our YouTube friends. Hey, Scott. And then show all. And I'm going to go in here. Checking this out. Yeah, looks like pretty solidly LinkedIn is not coming in. Can you see me, Pete? I've done 600 trainings. Literally, I was going to say I've done 600 trainings, and I haven't really had this issue. I've had other issues, but come on, Restream and LinkedIn, you're killing me here. Yeah. Let me see if I can get people to come in over on this, and I'll be right back to you, Scott, and then I'm just going to go live. There you go. So I'm going to wait for a few seconds to see people coming over on LinkedIn. I mean, YouTube. We'll try there. YouTube. only. Look at that. I'm using up 5 minutes, and I had a really good training plan for last training. Scott, we'll give it 2 seconds. I know there's a bunch of people on LinkedIn. I just went and told them to come over here to YouTube. Hopefully, as soon as they come over, they will join here. There we go. I'm going to close that guy. I'm going to get back to the training. Hey, Scott, by the way, what's your company core competency? Tell me your company core competency in there. As soon as everybody comes in, they'll see you in the chat. This is killing me. There we go. Well, I can see that part. All right, folks. CDS and DevOps. Okay, got it. Hey, so yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, sorry, I screwed that one up too. Let me get this back. Cecilia put a good link. Let me do it. Control C. Sorry, use this link. Okay, I'm going to get started here, and there'll be a couple of us, and we'll rock and roll, and people come in. I wanted to start off just a quick tip for success, and I was trying to think about this since it is my last training of the year, and what kind of tip is the right one for the end? And I want to go back to the one tip that I give to everybody who asks me. It doesn't matter whether it's on a professional, personal side. The number one tip is buy and read annually the 7 Habits for Highly Effective People. And I highly recommend, my tip for today is get that on audio and listen to it over the next 2-3 weeks. It is the most important business book in my mind anywhere, and it certainly is the most important business book to me. I read it every single year. I've been reading it and signing it every year I read. And the first time I signed this was in 1997, when I was working for the Secretary of the Army. This book had come out, and all the officers and everybody was really talking about how great it is. But so anyways, this book came out, but I highly recommend you buy seven Habits for Highly Effective People and listen to the audio, because the stories really pull you in, and it really helps you understand these professional and personal habits that will help in the 2025 success. So, okay, I see people from LinkedIn coming over here. We're going to get started. I'm going to go even at a faster fire hose pace. One thing I've done over the last 3 years is 600 trainings. When I was looking back at this, right, 600 live trainings in the last 3 years around federal sales. And I've done thousands since 2018 when I started the GovCon chamber. To say that I care about your success is an understatement. I very much care about it. I've invested my own money since 2018 in this whole idea of improving the small business success factor and building a community of small businesses who are going to support each other. And I'm really excited that we have been doing that. And the most important thing that I really want you to understand about the themes that I talk about from the sales training, et cetera, is that you deserve success in the federal market. You can have success in the federal market. You can reach the goals you set. The thing I need you to do, though, is to recognize that you deserve success. You need to recognize that you deserve success and acknowledge that you are ready for that success. I talk about this a lot, that there's a difference between talent and skill, right? And success is around a skill. I can teach you the skills. I come back over and over and over again, bringing the skills, bringing the energy to you. But you've got to believe that you deserve the success that's out there. And if you believe it, then it's going to happen to you. And that's going to drive into today's topic. If you've been here for many of my trainings before, I always share slides. Today, last slide of last training of 2024, I thought I'd go without slides, and I really just go into talking me to you, right? And giving you tips on how you can win federal contracts in 2025. These are the same things I share with my customers, right? We have a BD workshop, we've got other customers, and this is what I share with them on how you can win more federal contracts in 2025. You just need to begin to look at it. If you don't know who I am, by the way, my name is Neil McDonald. I am the president of the GovCon Chamber of Commerce. I'm co-founder and CEO of GovCon in a Box. And I want to welcome you to my federal sales training, where I teach success tips in the federal market. I spent 20 years as a small business government contractor. I've done what you're doing. And since 2018, I've been teaching people like you that government contracting is not a secret. It's just a process. Going into 2025, I'm actually going to start another company on the side called Nancy Co. In this company, I'm going to show you exactly me following the very steps that I teach. Not me helping somebody else have success, but I will teach you through me doing it, showing you that this is how I can start a company in January 1st, 2025, and by the end of 2025, be at $1 million revenue, right? That's doable. If you've got something the government wants to buy, that's doable, but I want to show you how to do it, and that's going to be in IT professional services. And so come along for that journey, because that's going to be a lot of how I train people. I'm like, look, I'm doing this. Now I'm doing it, right? And then you go do it. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, the Government Contracting Success newsletter. That's where I'll put out a lot of great information going forward into 2025. You can find a ton of good content from the past. The other thing is make sure you're letting people know that you're open to connecting. I have almost 36,000 connections, and my connections are constantly growing in the GovCon market. I've been in the GovCon market 30 years, right? And they're constantly growing. I want you to have access to that network, and so I try to create events, but you can build your own network right here in this training. There's people, I'm looking at Lori here offering to connect, and hey, let me know if I can help. You know, all these different people are out there willing to connect with you. Be open to connecting with them as well, and you're going to have a lot of success. Okay, I got 18 minutes to get 5 hours worth of content shoved right into it. These are my tips from a very high level of what I want you to be doing and thinking about when you go into 2025. If you do what I'm about to tell you, and take some notes, right? And come back and watch this if you have to, but take some notes on this. The first thing I want you to do is take a good look at 2025 or 2024. First question, did you hit the revenue goals that you set? When you really think about this, did you actually set revenue goals, or did you just work hard all year, but you never actually had a goal that you were driving towards? And if you had a goal, did you hit that goal in 2024, right? Revenue is the lifeblood of a company. We can do all sorts of good work out there, but we all need to be making revenue in order to do whatever good we want to do. And so it's our responsibility to make sure we're driving towards revenue and that we've got a specific goal. If we don't have a goal, then it's just like a dream and you're never going to get it. And so the second question around revenue is, what is your 2025 revenue goal? You should already know this. And if you don't know this, you should do it right this second. What was 24's revenue goal? What are you planning on 2024 ending up? $100,000, $1 million? Are you a $10 million company? You think you're going to end right about 8.5 or something, right? Whatever that number is, make a realistic goal for 2025. Don't overcomplicate this. If you're in the 5+ million, then a 20% growth is a really good goal. You can be aggressive if you want to. You have to know your own company. If you're smaller, just getting started, maybe your revenue goal is 100,000, 200,000. I'm starting that new Nancy Co. company to show everybody how I can do it myself again, right? But I'm setting $1 million goal. That's realistic for me because I got 30 years of experience. Even though my new company will be brand new, I know what to do. I know the process. I'm very good at this. And so I'm going to show it. Well, I could set a bigger goal, right? But you make sure your goal is realistic. First step, determine the 2025 revenue goal because it leads to everything else that goes forward. The revenue goal, when you look at 2024 and you say, did I hit the goals that I want? The important thing to do as you get ready to plan for 2025 and you want that success in 2025 is make sure you reverse engineer the process of where does revenue come from, right? And I want to look back at 24 for a second before I go into 2025. So the first step By the way, if you haven't seen this, let me share this really quick because this is what I'm going to be talking about today. So this is my, come on. Let me just turn my camera off. This is the 7-step process I'm going to talk about. Usually I go left to right from start here to sales. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about reverse engineering the process. And so I want you to keep this in mind. I'll come back and share that diagram with you if you want it. I'm going to put out a fresh copy for 2025. But the first step in that process, if you reverse engineer it, is sales. Did I win enough contracts? That's a really important question for you to ask. Did I win enough contracts? And did I win enough contracts that are going to not only lead into 25 revenue, but 26 and 27? If you're in the IT and professional services, you should be getting 2 to 5 year contracts that last multiple years. And so you want to ask yourself, did I win the sales? Because sales deliver today's revenue and tomorrow's, right? Sales leads to today's success and tomorrow's success. And so ask yourself, just write this down. Did I win enough contracts this year? It's a yes or no question, which is a really interesting thing, right? But did I win enough sales? And the only way you can measure that is if the sales addressed your revenue goal. As you go forward in the process, or reverse engineering it backwards in the process, if you will, if you didn't get enough sales, then you need to look back at your proposals and say, did I write enough proposals? And if you didn't write enough proposals, then there's no way you're going to win enough sales, right? And so proposals really need to be clear, compliant, compelling, and convincing. And I talk a lot about that. But one of the things they definitely need to be is a sufficient amount. You need to have enough proposals going out the door. An example is if you're an average company, you should be winning at least 1 out of 4 contracts. If you write 4 proposals, you're going to win out of 4. If you're not winning 1 out of 4, there's a good chance that you're writing to the wrong opportunities, right? And it's really important you really target the right opportunities. And so when you look at those proposals, yes, we need to have quality of proposals, but we need to have quantity. And this is really important as you start thinking about the contracts you're going after, et cetera. Are you going after enough proposals? If you're not, then why aren't you? Are you going after subcontracting proposals where you're subbing under somebody else? Or are you going after prime contracts? And so on this step, I want you to ask yourself, first off, write down how many proposals you went after. And then ask yourself, was that sufficient for the amount of sales that I need to win? These questions are really important to you as you go forward, right? And so I'll give you a good rough number. Going into 2025, you want to expect to write 40 proposals minimum next year. That's just a random number I give people when you have no metric or no data to give you your own data. I give you this data. I say, this is a general thing. Write 40 proposals next year. They don't all have to be prime contracts. You could write 6 that are you trying to prime, and the other 34 could be you on a team. But you need to be on enough proposals going out the door in order to have enough chances for you to win those sales that are coming in, right? So in order to achieve sales, you need to write proposals. But you can't write proposals unless you've got the right opportunities that are out there. So you need to write opportunities or find opportunities that are slam dunk opportunities. These slam dunk opportunities, they're just basically opportunities that you know you can win, right? This is an important thing for you to figure out is what does my company sell? And identifying opportunities that when I look at it, it's slam dunk. I'll give you a quick example. My last company, we did Microsoft SharePoint. And so a slam dunk opportunity for us was a SharePoint migration from SharePoint 2013 to SharePoint 2016, for example. That is a slam dunk opportunity. It's exactly what we do. You need to know exactly what it is you can do and only have opportunities in your pipeline that are around that sweet spot that you do. The second thing about your opportunities is you need to make sure you have enough opportunities in your pipeline that you can actually write those proposals that will lead to the sales. So when I say enough opportunities, if I'm saying you need to write 40 proposals in 2025, then you need to have at least 80 opportunities in your pipeline. They don't all have to be in there today. You can add some as you're going forward. But an example is I'm working with one of our customers, and we just looked at February, March, and April, February through April, and we identified 50 opportunities that are 100% slam dunks. These are 50 opportunities expiring in February through April. And then they're doing the same exercise for the next quarter and the next quarter and the next quarter, right? And so they can begin to identify enough opportunities in there, and they're all of them around that slam dunk opportunity. How many opportunities do you need in your sales pipeline? There's a whole nother training I do about how much contract value that need to be in there, but let's just start about the number of opportunities, because that's really the important thing, is making sure you have slam dunk opportunities and you have enough opportunities that you can be guaranteed that you'll be able to write proposals as a prime or a sub, write proposals that will lead to sales. This is a numbers game. Sales is a numbers game. And the reason I'm reverse engineering this is saying, look, if you're not hitting the sales numbers you need, then it comes back to the proposal. Are you writing a winning proposal that's clear, compliant, compelling, and convincing? And are you writing enough of those proposals? If you are, and those are good, then you need to look back at the opportunities and say, well, are these opportunities actually the ones that we can win? Right? And then coming back further, and this is really I think the most important part of the 7-step process I teach, and really the most important thing around sales. When you look to 2025, you need to realize, in order to have the success that you want, you have to have relationships. So the step that comes before, let me see if I can turn my camera off 1 second. Right here is relationships. I call this the wheel of success, because once you develop relationships and get on that wheel, you're never going to stop having success, because if you do a good job, you're just going to keep being able to identify more opportunities, write more proposals, win more contracts, that help you build stronger relationships. And so it's important to understand about relationships is that I mean strategic relationships, not networking, people you meet at an event or whatever, or even your friends, right? What I mean are strategic relationships with companies where both companies have a mutual commitment to growth, to each other's growth. When you have that kind of relationship, you're going to start moving forward. I was talking to one of my customers who's got this relationship with Lockheed Martin. And it's one thing to have a relationship with somebody who's just a Lockheed Martin employee or whatever. And it's another thing when that relationship is coming together on meetings once every 2 weeks or 4 weeks, where you're talking about particular opportunities. You know it is a good, strong relationship when you're starting to write responses together, or you're in capture and you're pursuing opportunities together. Well, that's what this customer did. And those are the type of relationships I want you to have. Because when you have those, you have this chance of identifying 4 or 5 opportunities you can work with them over the next year. And so when you look at strategic relationships, my first question here on relationships is to ask yourself, how many strategic relationships do I truly have? How many companies out there have the ability to write proposals where I could be on 4 of their proposals, right? That's the key for me, is I want to be able to be on their proposals where they're doing the lead on the prime, and I'm just taking a couple of task areas. It reduces the burden for me, but it increases the amount of opportunities I can pursue. How many relationships do I have that are like that, right? Are they truly like that? Are they big enough that when they win opportunities, I can expect to grow 1 or 2 FTEs at a time? That's full-time equivalent employee. And so I want to be able to look at those strategic relationships and see my growth. And truly, I want to be able to help them grow as well. So as you move forward in 2024, ask yourself, how many true strategic relationships do I have? How many people do I meet every 2 weeks, 5 to 15 minutes to talk about a mutual pipeline? How many do I need going into 2025? I say you need 16 relationships, depending on where you're at, but basically 8 larges and 8 smalls. If you're brand new, don't even bother with the larges. Just have 16 small business strategic relationships. Go watch my previous training. It seems like that's a lot of relationships, but it is so easy to manage when you just put it on a calendar and you meet every 2 weeks and you spend, let's say, 1 hour on that relationship, and then you're really focusing on your pipeline. You're not really focusing on the relationship, and you come back and talk about those opportunities. So strategic relationships, that's that wheel of success that begins with relationships, goes to opportunities, proposals, and sales. If you don't have those strategic relationships in place, then you need to get in the door. And getting in the door is about outreach. This is really our whole purpose of our BD Accelerator workshop is visibility, targeting, and outreach. Outreach starts the path to developing those strategic relationships. And outreach is where you have the first and second meeting, where you're starting to build that relationship. But it's also where you're making those cold calls. once you have enough strategic relationships, you don't really need to do the outreach. But if you've asked yourself, do I have 16 strategic relationships? And the answer is no, then you need to do more of this outreach, this cold outreach. And outreach really is just trying to get that first meeting. Hey, it seems like we have a similar complementary services that we offer. Do you mind if we get on a call for 15 minutes and see if it makes sense to work together in 2025? Right? I have a whole way of talking and teaching about how you get in the door, but that's the point, right? Pick up the phone, call somebody, send an email, personalize, and say, hey, I'm interested in talking with you. Are you interested in talking with me? That's outreach. And what I want you to ask yourself is, how many new people do you call every week? Truly think about this for a second. Just pause for 1 second, whatever you're doing, and think to yourself, on average in 2025, how many new people did I call every single week? For a lot of us, that number is like 5, maybe 10. But really, I mean, you think about this. If you called 10 new people every single week, then you would have called 500 people in the last year alone. I'm saying you should call 10 people a day, right? If you don't have strategic relationships, if you don't have the sales and the revenue you want, you should be calling 10 people a day minimum, new people, trying to get new people you can build relationships to so that you can find the opportunities and write the proposals that are going to land the contracts you want. And so when you think about 2025, make a commitment that you're going to start doing the outreach necessary to build the relationships. It doesn't take long. You're going to see when I build this new company, Nancy Co., I'm going to go out to people I don't know and who I think don't know me, right? You guys might know me and you see me on LinkedIn, but as many people as I know, and I got 36,000 connections, right? As many of those that I have, hardly anybody knows me, because it's such a big market. And so I'm going to go show you how I can go knock on doors, and I want you to do that same thing. Commit at least to 10 a day. So this is outreach. This is getting you in the door, and this is really important. But take a step back. You want to make sure you're targeting, right? And so targeting is two main things. If you're going to do outreach and you're reversing it back, do you know where to do outreach? Are you being reactive or proactive in the networking and the relationships you're building? Reactive is you go to a conference and you talk to anybody who's there, right? That's a distraction, frankly. What you want to do is be proactive. I want to go into the Navy. In fact, I want to go into NAVC, Naval Sea Systems Command. Okay, I want to meet agency people. I'm going to build a list of 50 or 100 of federal buyer names, numbers, and emails. I want to find winning partners within NAVC. I'm going to go find those winners, the names, numbers, and emails. I'm going to have a targeted list of 200 people before I start doing that outreach. I'm not going to have 5 or 10 names. I'm going to have 200. So then when I'm calling 10 a day, I can start moving forward through those names, and it allows me to get in. The last thing is in the 7-step process is I reverse it all back out. Let me show you this just really quick, right? Reversing it all back. It begins with research. And I put here, seek first to understand, then to be understood by the buyer. And ironically, this is the 7 habits for highly effective people. Remember this, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. Research is just this time where you look at an agency or you look at a program office and you begin to understand what truly is important to them. What challenges are they facing? You can learn this by researching an agency. You're going to learn a lot more when you do outreach and you start having those first meetings. Whether it's with teaming partners or agencies, you're going to start learning. And so take the time to do research. If you're trying to get into government contracting, or if you're trying to go from 10 to 15 million, don't just keep looking at opportunities and responding to them, right? Look at the entire sales life cycle there where you're doing research, you're identifying the people and reaching out, having those first meetings so you can build relationships, identify the slam dunk opportunities you can win, and then write winning proposals that will land you the sales. When you do this process, you're going to have the success in 2025. Take a minute, go back and watch this again if you didn't do it, and answer the questions I try to ask as we went along, because this is what I'm doing for my customers who pay me, and I'm telling you for free, do this and you will massively increase your chances for success in 2025. Hey, I like to end on time. This is my last training for 2024. I appreciate you being here with me. I do want you to remember that government contracting, it's not a secret. It's just a process, right? And it's really important that you understand that, because if you understand that it's a process, then you realize that success is a skill. It's not a talent. And you deserve all the success that you want for yourself and for your company next year. I'm here for you. I'm excited to sit there and see you in 2025. I hope you have a great Christmas, a happy New Year, happy Hanukkah. We will talk later.